So there's a guy. There's a guy that I very, very rarely have ever mentioned named Ethan Van Sciver, and he is a official member of the Kiwi Farms. He goes by Frog on the Kiwi Farms, and I verified that this is him. And let me try to summarize this as accurately as possible, and the only way I can do that is by saying as little as possible. Ethan is a comic book man. He is working on a comic book and has been for several years. He crowdfunded his comic book, and at some point when Black Comic Book Man published Black Comic and became financially wealthy off of the success of Black Comic, Ethan Van Sciver was one of his top critics as someone who has experience in the comic book industry, and who has also crowdfunded a comic book that has not been published yet. Hating on Black Comic Book Man has been like a staple of his show. I think he has some crossovers with Juju the Cow, and I think he's also a friend of Nick Rekieta. And he was so angry at something that it kind of triggered him. So let's take a look. I hope that this is the right clip. Let's see. 202:39. I am at the right place.
I want to sort of tone down those elements of games. Yeah, there's disagreement over there. It's okay.
Which is, I see nothing wrong with.
Okay, if you're only listening, Ethan Van Sciver, I thought it was Shiver, but it's Sciver? It's a weird name. Ethan not that one. I can't say Ethan because then people will be confused. Mr. Van decides that there's nothing wrong with that. What was the exact quote?
Okay.
Which is, I see nothing wrong with.
There's actually nothing wrong with. This apparently is the passphrase that Mr. Van has been programmed by the Department of State to activate. And when you hear there's actually nothing wrong with, it triggers his deep core processor to kick on and enact rage mode. He immediately gets up, he slams something off his desk, which may be his microphone. He takes off his headset, and he chucks it directly at his webcam, which I believe is perched on his monitor. So the code word was activated on accident, unfortunately, and the Department of State got a remote notice that Mr. Van has been activated, and they pressed the cancel button. Unfortunately, we've recorded the 8 seconds of him destroying his physical property in a fit of rage over a very innocuous statement. Out of context, this is extremely schizophrenic. I don't know what he's angry about. I just know that apparently Black Comic Book Man and the Silverback, you would think that those names would be switched, but Black Comic Book Man and the Silverback have apparently said something that he really vehemently disagrees with, and that is the most appropriate way that he could think of to act out his frustrations while being recorded to the internet. By the way, apparently he joined the forums a while ago and then left. And he rejoined at some point and posted some shit. There was like a weird controversy with this, and I still see it getting referenced, where he like came back to the forum, and apparently he expected that people would like welcome him back and cherish him as like an unsung hero or something. And then people just like immediately made fun of him. And every so often on Twitter, I see people referencing the fact that he came back to the forum and everyone made fun of him as like a point against him. So I don't know his full story. This is like a feezer where it's just like I'm vaguely aware of you, but the full details are better handled by the people in their respective niches. Chat.